Just want to add a little addendum, because that was actually a good place to end the video. I dropped my camera showing you that stupid shrine, but that was a good place to end. It was a decent video. But I guess I should, look at all this backup, no left turn, all this to go, all right. What I was going to say was, and I got a red light again. Great. This is US Route 1. Route 1 from Maine to Florida. It goes from what, Fort Kent, Maine, Presque Isle, Maine, down to, Fort Kent, Maine, all the way down to Key West. If you've ever been to Key West, this is US Route 1. It's a US highway, not an interstate highway, not a state highway. For those who are not in the United States, there are three types of highway designations. There's the interstate, the American interstate. There's the old US highways, which predate the interstate. So when you see that shield, I don't know if you can zoom in. When you see that shield, that's the U.S. all throughout the country. That's the U.S. highway system, and then states have their own highway system. So this is a U.S. highway. I'm just babbling. The point is, what I was trying to get at was I got this windfall of temporary NEETbucks monies, and I was thinking to myself, like, people might say, I was really good with numbers, and I found I sort of naturally came to numbers, so I became a bookkeeper, an accountant, or man, I was helping my uncle do some kitchen demo, and I found I was really good at, like, cabinets, and so I got into carpentry or whatever. Man, I like to play guitar, and I found I was really, pretty good at it, but I actually like the recording process. So I sort of discovered I'm an audio engineer, or whatever bullshit, like something leads to something else. Like, I was good with numbers and seemed like they needed an accountant, or I was really good with stonemasonry. I really like to chopping up. I fell into something. It seems, what am I good at? Well, NEETbuxxing. It's almost like I was designed for it. NEETbuxxing. And it's like, of course, it really is a struggle. It's a job unto itself to get this. Even these temporary NEETbucks were like a total struggle. When it pays off well. And I feel like, oh, thank Christ. So like I said, if you watch the other fucking video that just ended, $95, nothing special from a ShopRite compensation, grocery store compensation. But go to deposit it like something out of a movie, like, the genie came through. $5,000 in my account from a payout from temporary disability for my recent injury, which I've been fighting for since December. And now this third thing, I busted my finger in July 22, and I'm hoping I get several grand for it. It's not, again, this is not going to be anything spectacular, but it's something. It's nice. Hopefully I can get a few grand after the lawyer takes his cut. And of course, I probably have to pay taxes on all that. I pay taxes on the $95 check, taxes on... You don't pay state taxes on temporary disability, because it's the state who says you're entitled to this money. So I'm not going to pay state taxes, but I'll have to pay federal taxes on that, and anything I get from this. I hope this lawyer thing is concluded this year, because honestly, I filed that early. It was like early 23, and I thought it would be concluded sometime with. I know things take time, but I thought it would be concluded late. Like when I got I busted my finger July 22. You hold your horses. Busted my finger July 22. Didn't get around to contacting the lawyer until the winter of 23. Thought it would be done by late 23. It's drawn out. It's still going on. Who knows how long this report will take? Who knows what's going on with the claims adjuster? But hopefully I get something out of that. But anyway, I guess the point is, it's like the NEETbucks ferry. The NEETbucks ferry came through, but I really had to. When I think of the NEETbucks ferry, I actually picture a man dressed up like some big fat, I'm the NEETbucks ferry. I'm not gonna get. I had to chase this NEETbucks ferry down, and I got a little something, but it's like, so it's a good sign, but it's I want the big payoff. It's like, I bought some lottery tickets, it's got some scratch offs, got some drawings, and I did okay. One paid me $100, and this other one, wow, I got the little the jackpot prize. I actually got $1,000. Wow, but I want to win the Mega Millions. It's kind of like that. But this seems to be what works the best for me in life. Like I said, if I could have been a normie, I would have been a normie. This isn't like I'm some scam artist. I'm going to cheat the system, man. No, it's the opposite. I bashed my finger. This happened. I want compensation. If it exists, I want it. I tore my abdominal artery. Couldn't work. There's supposed to be a program in place. I've paid into it. And the $95 from ShopRite was just a nice little token. It's like I said, like this scratch off got me 100. This one got me the thousands. But where's my grand jackpot? We pay you for life. So that's the next step. But that's what do you work at? Well, I'm working on a degree. I'm a bookkeeper. I want to become an accountant. Maybe I study for my CPA, or I'm right now I'm just an electrical apprentice. I want to become a journeyman. I want to get my license to be an electrician. I'm working towards my NEET bucks. This is like, junior high of NEET bucks, and it's time to graduate to the next level. But that's what I'm, apparently, I don't want to say it's what I'm good at. It's where my life has turned out. I didn't turn out to be a musician or an electrician or an accountant or name anything, or any other random job, street sweeper, whatever the fuck. It seems like what came natural is this NEET bucks thing, which is like I'm entitled to fucking. Well, this is the right course for me. It wasn't something like I set out to do. No one ever said, yeah, you should. This is the life you should have. It's the way this sort of turned out, for better or for worse. So it's like all signs are pointing towards that. Hence my obsession. And I'll show you real quick. At the start of this video, we were at Route 1, which is a U.S. highway. For those outside the United States, Route 1 is a U.S. highway. If you see Route 1, doesn't matter which state you're in, it's U.S. Route 1, and through any state it goes. From Maine to Florida, it's the same Route 1. Now, this highway here is called Route 27. But if you notice, it's hard for me to focus. Route 27, I don't know if you can see this. I don't care if you look this up on Google. Route 27, notice how, unlike the Route 1, which had that shield, that U.S. highway shield, Route 27 simply has a circle. This is a state highway, Route 27 is a state highway. If you're in some other state and you see Route 27, it's not the same 27, it's that state's 27. This is New Jersey specific Route 27, whereas Route 1 is a U.S. highway. It's U.S.'s Route 1. If you're on Route 1, it's the same highway from Maine to Florida. Whereas if you're on Route 27 in, say, West Virginia, State Route 27, that's a different Route 27. So you go by the shield. This is I always like maps and, driving. So maybe I should have been a driver. But I might do that temporarily. Drive auto parts or something in the meantime. And if they don't have a GPS, maybe I can record while I'm driving around place to place delivering auto parts. I might do that because I might need temporary, and I say this for these people, it's interesting. You see people, I'm in Sweden, or I'm in Nigeria, wherever the fuck. So if they, these are things they don't really tell you or people don't pay attention to. Yes, Route 27, see that circle? That's the state, that's New Jersey 27. Whereas Route 1, if you go back, rewind, and look at the shield, that's U.S. Route 1. U.S. highways versus state highways. All right, so this is just an addendum video. But yeah, it seems like NEETmaxxing is what I should be doing. And while I'm not doing that, maybe I should be driving. Now, some of these driver jobs, it's interesting because they, it's only like, 'cause I inquired at a few places, just 5-6 hours when we need you, maybe a Monday, maybe a Friday, if someone calls out on a Saturday. So it's almost like if I could get NEET bucks and I still had to work for supplemental, it would be a great SSDI job. I go nowhere near that trigger mark, that work, what the hell's it called? Whatever the fuck they call it, the trial work period, TWP, trial work period. If you earn over a certain amount for 30 months, they kick you off. But there's a lower number that trigger. I call it the trigger mark. There's a lower number that triggers it, but it's like probably $1,200. So if I would just drive a fucking car delivering auto parts by myself for 5-6 hours a day, 2 or 3 days a week, I'd be under that mark, and that would be my supplemental. I could do that. They want me to work, I'll do that. In addition to my permanent jackpot winnings of what's going around the block here, of NEET bucks. All right, so yeah, I wanted to just ramble and talk, and there we go.